Om Shanti. Good morning, Diamond Morning. Baba's Murli. Today is the 23rd of March 2024. Today Baba is teaching us quite a lot on how to become egoless as he is selfless, get rid of greed and to be a trustee, so many other things. So let's listen to Baba's sweet versions with great love and attention. In the essence, Baba says, sweet children, just as Bab and Dada are both egoless and do selfless service, having no greed for the self. So you children have to become like the Father. Question. On what basis does the Father, the Lord of the poor, make the fortune of the poor children elevated? Question once more. On what basis does the Father, the Lord of the poor, make the fortune of the poor children elevated? Answer. Baba says, children, whilst living at home with your families and taking care of everything, your intellects should constantly remember that everything you have belongs to Baba. Just remain a trustee, and your fortune will become elevated. You need to have a great deal of honesty in this. If you have full faith, it is as though you are being sustained by the yajna. You stay at home as a trustee and eat from Shiv Baba's treasure stone. Tell Baba everything honestly. Om Shanti. The spiritual gatherings of this path of knowledge are unique compared to those religious gatherings of the path of devotion. You have experienced the path of devotion. You know that many sages and holy men relate scriptures, etc., on the path of devotion, whereas everything here is completely different. In front of whom are you sitting? In front of whom are you sitting here? In front of this double father and mother. There, it is not like this. That is on the path of devotion. You know that the unlimited Father is here, and that there is also the mother and the junior mother. You have so many relationships. There are no such relationships there, nor are there any followers there. There is the path of isolation. Their religion is completely different from your religion. There is the difference of day and night. You also know that you will only receive short-lived happiness from your physical father for just one birth. Then you will receive a new father and new things. Yeah, there are the Palokik, Lokik, and also Alokik fathers. You receive inheritances from physical fathers, and you also receive an inheritance from the Palokik father. However, this Alokik father is wonderful. You cannot receive any inheritance from him. Yes, Shiv Baba gives the inheritance through this one. This is why people remember that Palokik father a great deal. They also remember their physical fathers. But no one remembers this Alokik Father, Brahma. You know that this one is the Father of humanity. He is not just the Father of one. The Father of humanity is the great-great-grandfather. Shiv Baba is not called a great-great-grandfather. In a physical relationship, there are a physical father and grandfather. This one, of course referring to Brahma Baba, is the great-great-grandfather. This cannot be said of a alokik father or the palokik father. You do not receive any inheritance from this great-great-grandfather. The Father sits here and explains all of these aspects. The things of the path of devotion are totally separate. That part of the drama is also fixed, and it continues to be played. The Father tells you how you took 84 birds and not 8.4 million birds. The Father comes and makes us and the whole world righteous. No one has become a righteous soul at this time. The world of charitable souls is completely different. Charitable souls cannot live where sinful souls live. Here, impure souls donate to impure souls. There is no need to give donations or perform charity, etc., in the land of charitable souls. This knowledge of how we receive the inheritance for 21 birds at the conference age does not exist there. No, only now do you receive the knowledge from the unlimited Father, through which you receive constant happiness, health, and wealth for 21 births. There, your lifespans are long. The very name is the land of immortality. It is said that Shankar told the story of immortality to Parvati. These things do not exist in the subtle region. In that too, the story of immortality couldn't be told to just one. These things belong to the path of devotion, and people still continue to believe in them. The biggest lie is, what is the biggest lie? Is to say that God is omnipresent. This is defamation of him. They say that the unlimited Father, who makes you into the masters of the world, that he is omnipresent, and that he is in the pebbles and stones. You have defamed him even more than yourselves. I serve you altruistically, selflessly, that is. I have no greed to become number one. No. I just have the concern. What concern Baba has? With so much love, he's saying this. I just have the concern to make others that. That is number one. This is called altruistic service. He salutes you, children. Baba is incorporeal and egoless. He has no ego at all. He wears the same clothes, etc. He does not change his style of dressing, whereas those people continue to change their entire dress. This one's dress is ordinary. They also change the dress of officers, whereas this one continues to dress ordinarily. There is no difference at all. The Father says, I take the support of an ordinary body. Which ordinary body? Now, what answer would you give if Baba asked this question? Which ordinary body? The one who didn't know his own births or how many births he had taken. And that is, of course, referring to Brahma Baba. They say that there are 8.4 million births. Those are just things that they have heard. There can be no benefit in them. They make you afraid, saying that if you do such acts, you will become a donkey or a dog, etc. They also say that you will go across by holding onto a cow's tail. Now, where did the cow come from? All these stories are said on the path of devotion. In fact, back to the Murli, Baba says, in fact, the cows of heaven are completely different. The cows there are first class. Just as you become 100% complete, so the cows there are also first class. Sri Krishna never grazed cows. Why would he need to do that? That's just the way they depict the beauty of that time. However, it is not that Sri Krishna looked after cows. So they would have painted that picture in the minds of people. Of course, the cows there will be first class, grazing cows and lovely green pastures, beautiful Sri Krishna. It's such a lovely scene to think about, but everything is of great significance. So Baba is saying here, back to the Murli. However, it is not that Sri Krishna looked after cows. They have portrayed him as a cowherd. There is a vast difference between the first prince of the golden age, who is full of all virtues, and a cowherd. They don't understand anything because the deity religion does not exist now. This is the only religion that disappears. These things are not mentioned in any scriptures. The Father says, I give you children the knowledge. I give you children this knowledge to make you into the masters of the world. Once you become the masters, you no longer need this knowledge. Knowledge is always given to ignorant ones. It is said, when the sun of knowledge rises, the darkness of ignorance is dispelled. You children now know that the whole world is in darkness. There are many religious gatherings. Here, it is not the path of devotion. This is the path that leads to salvation. Only the one Father grants you salvation. You call out on the path of devotion. How did we call out on the path of devotion? Do you remember? Back to the Murli, Baba says, when you come, we are saying as children, when you come, we will belong to you. We will not belong to anyone except you because you are the ocean of knowledge, the ocean of happiness, the ocean of purity, and the ocean of wealth. He also gives you wealth. He makes you very wealthy. You know that you have come here. Why have we come here? He says, you have come here in order to have your aprons filled with Shiv by Shiv Baba for 21 births. That is, you have come in order to become Narayan from ordinary humans. The reasons for Baba's coming. Back to the Murli. You have been listening to so many stories on the path of devotion, and yet you have continued to come down the ladder. No one has been able to go into the stage of ascent. They have elongated the duration of the cycle. They say that the duration of the drama is hundreds of thousands of years. You have now come to know that the duration of each cycle is 5,000 years. The maximum number of births is 84, and the minimum is 1. Souls continue to come down from the incorporeal tree. They come down number-wise to play their parts. We come originally from the incorporeal tree. We come down here from there to play our parts here. We come down from there to play our parts here. All remain pure there. However, everyone's part is different. Keep this in your intellects, and also keep the tree in your intellects. The Father tells you everything from the beginning of the Golden Age to the end of the Iron Age. Baba says no human beings can tell you this. Even this Dada cannot tell you. There is only the one Satguru who grants salvation to everyone. All the rest of the Gurus, Baba says, all the rest of the Gurus belong to the path of devotion. They perform many rituals. There is a great deal of show on the path of devotion that is like a mirage. People have become trapped in that in such a way that if anyone tries to pull them out, he too becomes trapped in it. Devotion is like a mirage, it's such an illusion. And they get so influenced. If anyone goes to help, they also become trapped in the listening of the stories, the singing, the swaying of the bodies, etc. So back to the Murli Baba says, this is also fixed in the drama, nothing new. Every second that passes is according to the predestined drama. You know that you are now studying Raja Yoga from the unlimited Father and becoming Narayan from ordinary humans and the masters of the world. You children should have this intoxication. The unlimited Father only comes in Bharat, and only after every 5,000 years. He is the ocean of peace and the ocean of happiness. This praise only belongs to the Palokik Father. You understand that this praise is absolutely accurate and that you receive everything from the One. The one who is sitting in front of is the one who you are sitting in front of is the remover of sorrow and the bestower of happiness. With whom would you have yoga while sitting at your center? It would enter your intellect that Shiv Baba is in Madhuban and that you are remembering him. Shiv Baba himself says, I have entered an ordinary old body in order to make Bharat into heaven once again. I am bound by the bond of the drum. You have defamed me a great deal, and I make you worthy of being worshipped. It is only a matter of yesterday. You used to worship me a great deal. I gave you the kingdom and the fortune, and you lost it all. Now, I am once again making you into the masters of the world. This is not in This will not sit in anyone else's intellect. These are deities with divine virtues. They are human beings, not 80 to 100 feet tall. It is not that because their lifespans are long that they would be as high as the ceiling. And in the Golden Age manual, everything is so perfect that the body is so balanced. No one is either too big in size or too small or too tall or too short or too fat or too thin. It's such a balanced body. And Baba says here, it's not that your lifespan is shorter. He says, it is not that because your lifespans are long that you would be as high as the ceiling. Your lifespans are shorter in the Iron Age. The Father comes and he makes your lifespans longer. This is why the Father says, explain to even the ministers of health. So what will you tell them, the ministers of health, if you were to explain? Baba says, tell them, we will tell you such methods that you will never fall ill. God speaks. Consider yourselves to be souls and remember me alone, and you will become pure from impure and ever healthy. We can guarantee this. Yogis are pure, and so their lifespans are also long. You are now Raja Yogis and also Raj Rishis. Those sannyasis can never teach Raja Yoga. They say that the Ganges is a purifier. They ask you to donate to it. Now, how can you donate to the Ganges? Human beings throw money into that, and the pundits collect it for themselves. You're now becoming pure through the Father. What do you give the Father? Do you know what you give the Father? Do you give the Father? Back to the Murli, nothing at all. The Father is the best one. On the path of devotion, you used to give to the poor in the name of God, but you were in fact giving to impure ones. You were impure, and the ones who took from you were also impure. You are now becoming pure. The impure ones donate to impure ones. They give a Kumari away when she is pure. They bow down to her, feed her, and also give her money. This is a ritual on the path of devotion. And I was a part of that as growing up as a child between the ages up to the age of 10, 11, 12. So we would go to the spreads and get this little 25 cents coins and a kerchief, a handkerchief. And as little children, we were so intrigued about this and so excited to see what color did you get, how much coins you got, and we will save these coins. And we didn't understand what was going on, but it was all because of our purity that we were worshipped in this way. Kumaris, Kanya, Puja. It's back to the Murli. Baba says they bow down to her, that is the Kumari, feed her and give her money. However, once she is married, her life is ruined. This too is destined in the drama and will repeat again. The path of devotion had its part. The Father also gives you news of the Golden Age. News of the Golden Age. So he says, you children have now received understanding Earlier, you were senseless. The scriptures contain aspects of the path of devotion. No one can attain me through those. It is only when I come that I can grant salvation to everyone. And I only come once to change the old world into the new world. I am the Lord of the poor. I make the poor wealthy. The poor immediately belong to Baba. They say, Baba, I belong to you. Everything I have belongs to you. The poor say like this. The Father says, remain as trustees. Use your intellects to understand that that is not yours, that it belongs to the Father. Very good, sensible children are needed for this. When you cook food at home, it is as though you are eating from Shiv Baba's yajna, because you belong to the yajna. It's important to have this consciousness and intoxication for those living at home. Baba wants us to feel such part of the yajna and take the benefit. So he says, even when cooking food at home, it is as though you are eating from Shiv Baba's yajna, because you belong to the yajna. Everything you have belongs to the yajna. Therefore, whilst living at home as a trustee, it is as though you are eating from Shiv Baba's treasure stone. However, you need full faith. If your faith fluctuates, there is the example of King Harishchandra. You have to tell Baba everything. King Harishchandra had many stories, but one that all connected, but he had many obstacles, and he had faith and trust. And so he had a sort of simple living. If you really check the story of Harishchandra, but he had high moral thinking. And so, because of his faith, he got back everything that he had lost. So Baba says here, the example of King Harishchandra. You have to tell Baba everything. I am the Lord of the poor. And there is a song in the Murli, and the song is, at last the day we had been waiting for has come. Beautiful song. At last, the day we had been waiting for has come. Gives us so much intoxication. Baba continues, you have been remembering me for half a cycle, and you have at last found me. There will now soon be victory for this knowledge. The golden age definitely has to come. The confluence age in which you become the highest of all human beings is in between. You belonged to the pure family path. Then whilst going through 84 births, you became impure. And you have to become pure again. You became this in the previous cycle. Those who make effort in the previous cycle will make effort again and claim their inheritance. The Father sees everything. And how does he see everything? He says, as the observer. The Father says, you're messengers. The others are not messengers. Only the one Sadguru grants salvation. Other founders of religions just come to establish their own religions. So how can they be gurus? I grant salvation to everyone. Acha, okay. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found, children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Baghdad. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say
Say namaste
namaste
to
to the
the
spiritual
spiritual father.
father.
Desce que la terra batam pra ti, mapita, mapita ka. Iat biar or good morning, iat biar or good morning. Ruhani babki, ruhani bachonko, namaste. Ruhani bachonki, ruhani babko, namaste.
Essence for dharana, first one. Constantly keep the intoxication of having found the Father, the ocean of peace, happiness, and wealth, and of receiving everything from the One. You are sitting personally in front of such a Father, and He is teaching you. Second point, renounce your ego and continue to serve altruistically like the Father. Remain egoless. Become a messenger and give Baba's message to everyone. Baba's blessing for today. May you be detached from any temptation of material possessions and become a conqueror of matter and free from temptation. Baba explains, if any material possessions disturb any of your physical senses, that is, if any feeling of temptation arises, you cannot then be detached. Desires are a form of temptation. Some say that they don't have any desire, itcha, that they do like something, acha. That too is a subtle temptation. Check the subtle form to see whether some material possession, that is, some means of temporary happiness, is attracting you in any way. Material possessions are facilities of matter. And so, when you become free from being tempted, that is, when you become detached, you will then be able to become a conqueror of matter. And the slogan for today: let go of any Jamila, that is chaotic situation, of mind, and stay in the unlimited. And you will then be called a world benefactor. I shall repeat the slogan. Let go of any Jamila, chaotic situation, of mind, and stay in the unlimited. And you will then be called a world benefactor. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Do have a very powerful day in God's sweet remembrance.